Hello, this is Lewis Michael.
And this is Gabrielle Christensen, your co-host.
And welcome to the podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to a new episode of Geeking around Lite.
And welcome back.
I'm your co-host, Gabrielle Christensen, who doesn't know much about Apple events.
And I'm Lewis Michael. I know a lot. Enough. I know enough.
He knows more than I do, so it's going to sound like a lot.
Like and subscribe and check out the links. There's a bunch of cool stuff with the links. You can get the Geeking Around webcomic or my Star Wars comic, Kira, a Star Wars story. We got the online clothing store, bunch of other stuff.
Always make sure to comment. We try to be responsive to comments and get involved with you guys and love to communicate.
Yep. So we're going to do something a little bit different because I don't consider this really a geeky thing. Maybe more naughty, and a lot of people put that together. Like, it's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, we had the E3 event that happened too, so I thought let's do the Apple event and then we can do the E3 event for the main podcast. So
sounds good.
So this is the Apple Worldwide Developer Conference, where mostly about software like iOS, iPadOS, macOS, watchOS, and all the other operating systems and everything else. So what did you think overall?
Overall, now what I did skim through, I did like that they said, they have a new update, I believe for the iPhone, that's going to be something 14th edition. But they said that it will be compatible with older phones and up to the 13th edition, that it won't kick people off. That was nice. I always like it when they try to... I guess the biggest thing is this is the first time that I've had an Apple product. So this is the first time that I've ever paid attention to, at least a little bit of attention to any kind of event that Apple's ever hosted. I seen there was macOS. I thought that was nice that it's getting an update. Otherwise, I'm a complete noob and I don't have any other experience with it. So to me, this was pretty decent.
I thought it sucked.
But you've had how many Apple products?
I don't even remember now.
I can tell you one. I've had one.
It wasn't bad. Like, all the updates we got, like the new features and stuff, are great, and I probably would use a lot of them. There's maybe like one or two that like, who cares? But I think most of it I can actually be using it a lot. I was disappointed with the iPadOS.
You definitely didn't say you were going to be in the main Geeking Around. You definitely didn't call that.
A lot of other people was really expecting much more, and I think the way what caused a lot of the problems, like the many reasons why a lot of people was disappointed with iPadOS or with the keynote itself, I think it's some of the features, the new features that they announced was in the wrong section. Like, there'd be like a feature that would be perfect for the iPad, but it was in the iOS, for iPhones. It's like, wait, what? Why is that? Or it was something that was in the iPad that would have been great for macOS, or macOS and it'd be great in iPad, So I think times where they just didn't know where to put something, so they just threw it in there and like, let's just put it here. And okay, so we're gonna go through here and look at all the major features that was announced and give our opinion on it. So first, in the keynote, they announced iOS 15, and here's the big slide that they show that shows an overview of everything that was coming. Sometimes they hide stuff in there, so a lot of people like to screenshot it real quick when they in the live stream of it and like start combing through everything. And so I don't think there was really anything that stood out to anyone that they didn't really talked about.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything really. Alright, so there was a big update to FaceTime, that is the video chat thing on Apple devices. Spatial audio. This feature will apparently make it sound like when you FaceTime someone, they will sound like they're right there in the room with you. Last time I knew what spatial audio was about was talking face to face to somebody, and you turn your head to the left, and so your right ear is facing them. You're only really hearing out your right ear, not your left, because it's away from them.
Yeah.
So if you have headphones on, like the AirPods, Apple's AirPods, like, and you do that while FaceTiming, it would do that. So you get more out of your right ear, or if you turn to the right, it gets more in the left. So that's pretty cool, I guess. And I mean,
you'd be able to tell when someone's ignoring you. Just get further away and be like, excuse me. I guess if you're watching them, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
You hear that anyway.
I feel like that'd be more better for VR. So if you move one way, it sound all over. Yeah. A lot of people say a lot of these things are adding up to the Apple Googles or whatever, goggles or whatever they call them. I think called glasses, Apple glasses. But they're gonna make a headset false. Then they make the bet on Google glasses. Force isolation. So I thought this was kind of cool, and I hope that it comes to other parts of Apple stuff. So like in the keynote, they showed a mom talking to someone on FaceTime and had the dot on with a leaf blower right behind on. And so she turned on force isolation, and Apple, like through AI and machine learning, will only filter out the background noise and just get her voice.
I wonder how many ghosts we're going to be able to detect now. You're in a completely quiet room, but then all of a sudden your phone's just like, Jerry? And you're like, I didn't say Jerry. Who said Jerry? What's going on? It's going to be wonderful.
But like I said, I hope this comes to other things like GarageBand or Logic Pro or other audio apps. So like you can make, or like especially podcast apps, where you could use just your phone to use as a mic. And like of course the microphones on a phone isn't going to be as good as an actual microphone, so to be picking up a lot of feedback and a lot of background noise. So this could help and get kids into making more podcasts.
Yeah, without all the editing
and
you'd have to do. I mean, I know that there are some microphones that try to isolate noise and stuff, but that costs a pretty penny.
So. I mean, like the whole setup we have costs like $100, where the one mic that you talk about probably costs $100.
Yeah.
Then you still gotta buy all the other crap with it. So, and I think we don't sound too bad. So.
Not with your editing skills anyway. It's fine. It's good.
So portrait mode. It just blurs the background. Again, I hope this comes to the actual camera app, and you can like when you recording a a YouTube video, it could do it for you and stuff. But I think now you gotta manually do it. It don't do it automatically. One good feature for like me and Gabby is FaceTime links. So Gabby has an Android phone, I have an iPhone, but before now we would never be able to FaceTime each other because FaceTime is only a Apple thing.
Yep.
And so we would have to use some other app to do that. Well, now I could send Gabby a FaceTime link, and she can open that link up in any browser she has, and we can FaceTime that way. So I think this is a very good feature for a lot of like a team, because not everyone has an iPhone and not everyone has Android, so this can help.
Yeah, especially also thinking larger too for like older family members, like people who got Cricket and stuff.
Yeah.
As long as they know how to follow a link and click it, it'd be alright.
And I don't think you can do it the other way around. I don't think Android people can send a link, because it's FaceTime link.
Yeah.
So I don't think it works both ways. Yeah, make sure the team lead on the manager is an iPhone user, so you can send that link to everyone. SharePlay, I think this is like a hit and miss for me. Like, I can see it can be useful, but I can also see like, who cares kind of thing.
I guess it really is a product of the shutdown and lockdown, so everyone could watch something at the same time instead of trying to sync it up. Or also, people really like to do, a lot of people, myself, like to do, like if there's maybe a YouTuber watching something live, you know, and doing a reaction, then you could try to start yours at the same time they started theirs to catch up to what they're watching.
With the live stream?
Yeah, that's probably the only way they could do it now, is do a live reaction.
This is be like you send me, sharing it with me.
Right.
To watch that live.
Right.
Yeah, not you watching it live.
Right,
with the guy.
But no,
in the live.
if the live streamer had the link and said, you know, this is what we're watching, and shared it in like a Discord.
Oh, okay.
Then everyone could possibly follow that link and watch it at the same time.
Yeah.
And I imagine then if they needed to pause or something, then it would also stop on everyone else's end.
One thing because it's not just music videos, music app and video apps, but any really app out there. So I can see this being like a team, like a workplace thing where someone, sometimes it's easier to be there in person to explain something, or at least see the person talking. They can, like on the iPad, use the Apple Pencil they work looking at a document, a PDF, and they sulkily like, okay, we need to change this, or you need to take this out, blah blah, and they can do it all at. Like, I guess one thing that Apple showed after the keynote was a group that was working on the same like whiteboard, a digital whiteboard. They were all making different drawing and writing on this board at the exact same time. It was showing up all at instant at the same time. Focus mode. So this is something I think I will actually use, and I just longed today because they didn't really say it on the keynote. You can use like I didn't really want it on the iPhone. I want it on the iPad or the Mac. Can I turn it on with the iPhone? And then it does it on the iPad and the Macs, and no one was saying anything about it until today. And I'm like, all right, yes, you can turn it on the iPhone or your Apple Watch, and it will do it on all your devices that link to your same iCloud.
Nice.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So what it does is like a don't install feature, and so you got personal, work, and sleep, which you can add your own custom ones there. Focus mode is like you click on work, and it make it where all your non-work contacts cannot contact you unless there is a emergency, like they keep calling you, and or something. They have to do something to get through to you. Only show apps that are work related, that you put down as work related, and a bunch of other stuff that you can do with it. And it does work with shortcuts. So like you could make a shortcut, like when you arrive at this certain location, your work location, that it automatically will turn on the work focus mode, and so all your stuff. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And so, but yeah, I think I'm going to use this a lot so people stop texting us when we are trying to record a podcast.
Yeah.
Live text. So, one thing that Gabby and I talk a lot about is about how old people are always like, hey, I need you to get on your phone to look something up. But a lot of times when I have someone tell me that, like, hey, get on your phone and order this for me. Well, half the time it's just a screenshot of that item, and it's like, well, where did you find that? Well, I don't know, it was like on Amazon or eBay or something, I don't know. I'm like, just copy the link and send it to me. I don't know how to do all that. I'm like, but this can, what you do is you can take that screenshot, and it will, as it shows here, it can copy any words and text and stuff in that screenshot, and then you can look it up, and it will also like say you took a picture of a dog and wants to know what type of dog that is, it can tell you. what type of dog that is. So you can actually give you a lot easier way to look things up. And like if you take a like for sale sign, like you saw a nice car that you want to buy and has a for sale sign, you can take that picture of that for sale sign and then go back home and like talk to your husband about it or whatever, wife, like, hey, I want to buy this car, and they say it's okay, so you want to go back and call it. Well, you can just tap the number on there and it will automatically copy that number and it will call them. Apple Maps, I don't care. It looks like Pokemon Go now, so that's cool. AirPods, there was a really cool called condensation mode where it like kind of like the isolation, the voice isolation, but opposite. If you are hard of hearing and there's someone talking but there's so many noise around, you can turn this mode on and it'll only focus on that person's voice that is talking to you. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And,
yeah, you're right. Then once you get rid of everything else.
Mm-hmm. iPad OS, yeah.
Oh, I do like how spatial audio is coming to the TV OS and the M1 powered Macs.
iPad OS. Yeah, this was what I was disappointed in. We get widgets. Don't know why we didn't get widgets last year when the iPhone is the exact same thing. I do like now that we do have the app library on there, but just like Launchpad on your Mac, it just gives you an idea. I think on Android called App Drawer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something just like that, and so I really like that. So there's much multitasking on the iPad. We didn't really get any new multitasking. It's just a much easier way to do it, because the old way of doing it was just you gotta do a whole bunch of different gestures and stuff to do it. And it's like, yeah, multitasking, it's just 1,000 times a lot better. Now you can do it with keyboard shortcuts. A much easier way to do multitasking, like putting two apps side by side and you have to slide over and stuff, but nothing new with it. The only thing new that I think I'm going to be using a lot on the iPad is Quick Notes. You can have it do a little pop-up on the side and use the Apple Pencil, or you can type on it. I think I'm going to be using this a lot on the iPad Pro.
I imagine using the pencils a lot easier than just typing on it, because if you're typing on it,
Yeah. It's just something to do. Like it says, Quick Notes. You can write it real quick. And what really cool, like say like you're on Safari or internet and you want to write something down. You're researching for a paper for school, and it will save that link onto the Quick Note. So that's pretty cool. And
that's pretty cool.
One of the most disappointing things about iOS is that there was no Pro apps. There was no Final Cut, there was no Logic Pro, there was no Xcode, but we did get Swift Playground. Now, like, you always could get Swift Playground on iPad and on Mac as an app that Apple made for kids and beginners to learn how to code. But before, on the iPad, you could not build your own apps. And now you can build your own apps or games and publish it onto the App Store. So I think that's pretty cool, and I think people just was really hoping for Xcode. But I'm happy with that, because I would like to learn how to do coding and create my own apps and games.
Yeah.
macOS called Monterey. Pretty much all of the things that iOS and iPad is getting. One thing cool was universal control. So right now with the Mac and iPad, you get Sidecar, which kind of makes your iPad as a secondary display for your Mac. But this kind of makes it where you can use your Mac's keyboard and mouse or trackpad to navigate with the iPad. I think this is good for like professionals who are doing a lot of stuff on the iPad Pro but still need to do a lot of stuff on the Mac as well. So they show like drag and dropping a file from iPad to the MacBook Pro, then to the iMac. So 3 different devices, and but I think that was pretty cool and will be really useful for. I feel like people like that coding a lot will use that a lot.
Well, also, it kind of sounds like, because it says you can control multiple Macs and iPads.
Mm-hmm.
How close do they have to be? It seems like as long as it can recognize a device in a room, it can use it. So that, again...
no, it just has to be right next to...
Does it?
You know, so... With, like, one main difference between Sidecar and this, as long as you just put your other device, your iPad, near your Mac, it will automatically sync with each other. You don't have to turn on anything, where with Sidecar you have to actually turn it on. But you gotta fall still with the Mac. That's how it turns on. You just go through the Mac and start moving your mouse over to where the iPad is. So if you place your iPad on the right side of your display, you gotta move your mouse to the right side. And that's all. So yeah, there wasn't really a lot of stuff for Mac. Safari got a big update with this UI. I myself don't really care for it. I mean, it looks nice, but I think it lost some of the actual functionality of Safari. Because now you gotta, like, because they put all the buttons, like you see up here and stuff, this and this and this and this and this and this and this, all behind one button. So you gotta click on that button, then you gotta click on another button to get to, like, bookmark it. And it's like, well, that sucks. I mean, it's just an actual step you gotta go through, where to me this was just fine. There was nothing you need to do. And a lot of people are saying that they don't like the way it changed on the iPhone, so they don't like it. Definitely do not like it on the iPhone. But one really cool thing that gonna really help me out is the tab groups. Microsoft has something like this in Edge. Say you have like 10 tabs open, then you can have it all automatically put in that one tab group and save all the links in there. But here's the kicker for that. That's going to be really cool when you use it with Quick Notes. So you can take all those links in that one tab group and automatically, or with just a click on a button, save it to a Quick Note. So the way we do the news is that I go on comicbook.com and IGN and stuff, look at the news, and I copy and paste it all into...
Oh my god, that would save so much time.
And copy and paste it all into Apple Notes and stuff, and then I send it to Gabby, where she will write it out. And so that I could just open all those tabs, click a button to put in the tab group, click another button, and it put into the thing.
And then all I have to do then is I can select them all and put them all in the pad and open them without having to go back to the email every single time.
So yeah, there was a lot of cool things that only like developers and coders would know that Apple didn't really share. But one really cool thing I find really interesting was the 3D object creator or character feature, where you can use your iPhone or an iPad, and I think you have to have LiDAR. I think all the newest iPhones have it, iPhone 12, and the last 2 iPads have it. So I can't remember, but you can say you have like an action figure, Batman action figure, and set up on a desk, then take pictures using this new features. Take picture all the way around it, and it will make a 3D model of that, and then you can actually open it up in any 3D modeling app and mess around with that.
That's cool.
I think that'd be pretty cool for like people that want to make video games and stuff, like have an action figure Master Chief, and then you take the picture and then you upload it, and then you just change a little bit about them, to not get copyrights, and then you can make your own Halo-like game. That was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't... I mean, I understand that a lot of this stuff was being developed during the pandemic and stuff, but, like, most software or developers and stuff work from home anyways before that. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe Apple a little bit different, but, yeah, that's how I looked at it. I don't know. It just seems like half the stuff, like the widgets and stuff for the iPad, that came to iPhone last year and made no sense that it wasn't on the iPad last year. And then, like I said, there was hardly nothing with the iPad, like other than Swift Playground able to make a apps on the iPad and publish it. That's pretty pro, but that was about it. Nothing else was really pro, and they put in an M1 chip into the iPad Pro, and with that amazing display as well, and made it $100 more, and where the iPad Pro was already pretty expensive to begin with, and yeah, a lot of people was upset.
I could see. Well, guys, that's been Geeking Around Lite. Good talking with you again, and we'll catch you for the regular Geeking Round.
Yep, see ya.
Bye-bye.